In this tutorial, we're going to look at creating a 3D roof. So first we need to go to File, we need to select Import, and we're going to go to the Training Notes 1 folder that's supplied. Then under the roof, we need to set that to DWG, DXF, or actually SketchUp files. Okay, so we've already created a roof base for you, just to save time on figuring out the 2D shape of it. So I'm going to select Import, then click on the origin, and then that will be imported to the origin, and just zoom out. So it's just purely a 2D roof outline that has a little bit of thickness to it already. So quite simple, and it's already into a component. Next I'm going to go to camera and turn on the perspective. Okay, so to create this roof we need to first set the pitch or the angles of the roof. So if we go to the protractor tool, you can see it brings the protractor into the screen. Using your arrows you can lock the protractor in different planes. So I'm going to select the green plane first, then click on this endpoint here, click, take it along the edge, click, move it upwards and type in 25 and enter. Then I want to create another plane on this end, so I'm going to use the right arrow for the red axis, click to begin, take it along the edge, click, move it upwards 25 and enter. Left arrow for green, along the edge, click upwards and 25 and enter. Left arrow again, put it on the endpoint, along the edge, click upwards and 25 and enter. So we've now got angles or construction lines on each end of the roof. So to begin, I'm going to get the line tool. I'm going to start from the endpoint, take it along the edge until I hit the top of the ridge, and then go upwards until it hits the guideline. Then we can bring that down to the opposite end, creating a triangle. Then I can go along the ridge here, and you can again use your arrows to look it in the direction you want to go. So left arrow is green, and then align that to the roof there, then back down. So you can see that's the valley. So we went along the ridge and then drew down along the valley. So the trick is to not try and then continue on from this point, but to go in from each end and work your way back to the middle. So I'm going to click here, touch the midpoint, come up. So no clicking, I just, well first click, take it along the bottom edge, found the midpoint and go, just lift it up away from the midpoint until it hits the guideline. So then again I'm going to click here, touch the end point or the midpoint, go up without clicking yet, then click and then down. Okay, so then this one here I can start going along the ridge, left arrow to lock it in the green, line it up with the roof plan below, touch the top of the ridge there and come away up along until it hits the guideline and then back down. Okay, so then you may need to hit escape after this particular line, then click here and go up to there. So you can see that's now closed in. This one here, there's two ways I could do it. I could either just draw a line back and then find the point here using the right arrow and then draw down to create the hip, and then I could just easily delete the lines and the construction line, leaving the hip. So that's one way, which is a solid way of doing it. However, another way you could be that you just get the select tool, click in white space but within the group, don't close the group. See how I accidentally lost my dotted lines around it? Make sure you're editing the group with the dotted lines, get the move tool and nothing selected so that I can just pick the endpoint here, click, take it along the red axis, which is the right arrow, locks it, and then I line it up with the plan below. So I'm just using that 2D plan as a reference. So it's a really nice way of doing it. There are also plugins that you can use to help generate roofs quicker, but I just wanted to really show you how you could do it manually in case you don't or can't find those plugins. So I'm going to go along this ridge, right arrow to there and to there. Then again we go from the ridge again, so click up here, left arrow down to there, and that closes that in. And so really the last part is I could just go from here now along that ridge to there, and the roof is now closed in. So it's really quite cool how you can do it quite quickly. Then what I can do is just erase some of the lines that I don't need anymore. So over here we've got a few lines that we don't need anymore. And if you were to go to the X-ray mode, you could see that there's surface data that we could get rid of now. So we've just got a nice clean roof. So if I click on the X-ray button again, I can go to edit and delete those guides. Then with the line tool, I can start here, touch this edge, come parallel down, touch the top there, come down, and then down to there, so that we've got basically the fascia. Then you could push pull that back, so either 450 or 600. Same again if we come over to here, get the line tool, click here to begin, touch the edge, come down without clicking, finds parallel, touch the top of the ridge or the gable, come down, finds parallel and away from the point, click there, touch the edge, come down parallel until it hits there. And then once again you can get the push pull tool, double click, and it should remember the last 450 that you did. And one more to do, click here, touch the edge, come down, yep, and then just straight down to there. Push pull tool, double click. Okay, so if you wanted to add a bit of detail onto the ends of the roof, you could select the two edges there. You could get the move tool and just copy that downward 90 or 100. Then with the push pull tool, you could just push pull that out maybe 10, just to give it a bit of extra detail. And again, select those two with the select tool, get the move tool, press Control, copy that down and type in 90 as well. Select the push pull tool and double click on that. Okay. And so some of the things that I like to do is add detail to the ridge as well. So maybe you select these two lines, get the offset tool and just bring that down 150 maybe, or even 100. Or you can even make it 90. You can just keep typing as you go. So you can start to see that we're adding a lot of nice detail there. What I like to do sometimes on a hip like that is double click in the middle, holding Control and Shift, drag a selection box from right to left, and it leaves then only the two edges selected. Get the offset tool, double click on the right side or the inside, and it will do the same offset as we did over there, the 90 or 100 millimeters. Then I can just erase the excess there and there. So if, for example, I wanted to do a gutter, I could come over to here and get the line tool, and I kind of want to reference this line here, so if I just draw a line up there, that would work. I could come down here and just draw out maybe 80 millimeters, come up here and just reference that. You can use your arrows to reference. Then you could get the arc tool, 2-point arc tool, and just draw a curve over that. Double click once it goes purple, and it should just trim that off. Then we can make that a group, so double click on that with the select tool, right click and make group. Again with the select tool, double click on it so we edit the group, and I'm just going to get the move tool and copy that over to the other edges. So once it's on this edge, I can't quite reference where that point is, so I'm going to hold it on the edge and hold Shift while I'm copying, and then I can reference that there. So then this one's just a straight push-pull into that face there. So that was quite good. But this one here is following along quite a few different lines. So what you would need to do is get the line tool and just draw along the roof edge. So if you press H on your keyboard for hide, you can see that we've got the lines there. So you can select those lines with the select tool from right to left, then click on the follow me tool, then click on the profile, and you can see it's just swept it along that path. So you can now really add a lot of detail to your roof. And of course you can just color the roof once you're ready, just using standard colors. And just grab the roof material that you like. Then sometimes what I do is I just go and create a material from that material, untick the texture so I get the exact same color. Go OK. Then I can hold shift and paints everything. Then if I go to the drop down under colors, you could for example paint the sophites, but before even doing that I could select these two lines, get the move tool, copy that in maybe 20, and then I could paint under the sophites. And then again grab that. And if you don't like that color at all, you can just go to edit and then just make sure it's a lot lighter. I sometimes use HSB color picker, and that allows you to remove the saturation if you just want white. So you can get quite a realistic looking roof quite quickly by using that method. And just lastly, I'm just going to add a bit more texture to the roof, so I can hold Alt and click on the texture that I want to suck up into the paint bucket, and then I can paint the rest of the roof. Alright, so hopefully that's been helpful to you. It's a tried and true method of generating a 3D roof.